What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. This is Double Game Week 24 on the upcoming FPL. I was about to come here and tell you guys, alright, let's get in these players. These are the players you want to look at. These are the players you want to get. And then we had FA Cup fixtures. It's not yet over at the time of recording. We still have two more games to go. But after today's fixtures, we've had a few injury doubts. Calvert-Lewin, doubt. Diaz, doubt. Pope, doubt. Justin, doubt. Rodriguez, doubt. These are the most transferred in players for this week, as you can see on the screen, and they're all having doubts. Calvert-Lewin, I think he went off injured in the Everton game that they beat Spurs 5-4 today. Diaz is apparently sick. Not sure if he'll make it. We'll have to see again on Pep's press conference later down the week. Pope also, Sean Dash said that we have to check and see. Justin went off injured. Could be a serious injury that could keep him out for a long time. So we'll have to see how that goes. James, I am not really sure. Calf injury, it says. So that is why we need to have a look and see into what you call Carlo Ancelotti's press conference. Another thing, if you move to Manchester City, that's the first talking point of the week. Rodrigo could be potentially out as well, which means, and Fernandinho is apparently not yet fit. So could Gundogan actually be pushed to CDM to an even more deeper role, or would Pep, if Diaz is fit, or maybe even put Cancelo in CDM and start Walker? That could happen. Not sure if it would happen or not, but that's a very good possibility. So, who do we get now that we have all of this to think about? I still think the top three players right now, I think that most people would have. Let's go by like teams selected by, because that gives us a good idea of who are the City players. Gundogan, Diaz, Cancelo, Stones, Sterling. Those are the top five. Most teams would already have any combination of Cancelo, Stones, Gundogan, Cancelo, Diaz. Gundogan. Gundogan is most likely going to be the one everyone's going to captain. But would you captain him now if a possibility of him being at a more defensive role than he was before? That is something I'm not really sure. I think if you had Gundogan or Sterling, if you had both of them in your team, then you probably have to consider who you would give the armband. I think Sterling came off just before the 60-minute mark in today's FA Cup game, so that means it's a good sign. He is going to get rested. You also have to keep in mind that Manchester City's opponents, both Spurs and Everton, did go to extra time, so they did play an extra 30 minutes. So that's also something to consider. They'll be way more or less tired than the City. And with potential injury hits to Everton, their style of game could also change depending on the fitness of Calvert-Lewin. So, I at the moment have Cancelo, Stones, and I did getting Gundogan. I'm going to stay with that. I will probably end up captaining Gundogan. Maybe also because Calvert-Lewin injured out. Gundogan seems to be the most obvious captain at this point because I don't have Sterling. If I had Sterling, I would probably captain Sterling. Apart from that, Gundogan did miss a penalty last game. So, and Pep has said that he might think if put in Edison on penalties. I don't know if Pep's actually going to do that. I do think Gundogan might still be the one who takes the penalty and ends up taking the penalty. Another one, oh yes, another more transferred in. Let's go to transferred in because that tells us who people are looking at. Foden, Phil Foden. Phil Foden, will he start now? He is never always guaranteed for me. It's like he got 90 minutes last one, but against Burnley he didn't get 90 minutes. Sheffield United he played 90. West Brom he didn't play 90. So Phil Foden is a very, if he starts he gets points. Like if he plays a full 90 he does get points. Otherwise it's very hard for him to get points. So it's a very risky player. with double game week fixtures, I would ideally like to be more certain of my players. Having said that, if Nathan Diaz is fit, Stones could also get rotated with Laporte. Champions League fixtures are coming back as well. Have to keep that in mind. But I hope that they don't get rotated. Pep Roulette, like the title suggests, Pep Roulette, anything can happen. Um, so hope, fingers crossed, that your players they do end up starting. I think Gundogan is the highest expected goals as well for City's team, so definitely one to keep an eye on. Let's move on to Burnley. Now, Burnley, Nick Pope, everyone wanted Nick Pope. I was also looking into getting Nick Pope until the moment that Sean Dyche went and said, oh, he could be a doubt, we'll have to see. So, I will wait for the press conference of Nick Pope from Sean Dyche to see if Nick Pope could start. Because Burnley's defense against, and they're playing who? They're playing Crystal Palace and they're playing Fulham. Yes, Crystal Palace and Fulham. I haven't seen clean sheets more guaranteed than these two. Now, they could very well concede in both games and you'll end up with 4 points. Possible. Uh, but Nick Pope and Ben Mee are the two players I'm looking at. If funds permit, I would try and get those two. If not, I might go on Pope and Lawton. We'll see. Depends on how. I need to check how much I have in the bank. I think I have 1 million left in the bank. We'll see how it goes. Pope, if Pope is fit, I'm probably going to get Pope. He is a bonus point magnet for Burnley. If you go and see, but thing is, he gets bonus points because he's playing the more tougher teams, so he has more shots to face against Crystal Palace and Fulham, who don't really create much chances anymore. The chances of him getting bonus points aren't that high. But something to consider is their opponents, Crystal Palace and Fulham, are pretty bad for headed goals. And they do concede a lot of headed goals, I believe. From the stat, I heard a stat that they do concede a lot of headed goals. So Ben Mee and Tarkowski could be an option for headed goals in terms of crosses to the box from either Peters or Lawton. It's a good possibility. That's why I think a lot of people are hoping that Ben Mee does get maybe a goal possibility out of goals. Here we go, goal scored. Ben Mee's got two goals scored. Wood is the one who has the highest, but is not getting anything. Ashley Barnes is the other option, but I would much rather try a defender with. So from the defensive perspective, Barnes, Dan doesn't start anymore, and then you've got to go all the way down to Tarkowski, who hasn't had a single goal. So as you can see from this list itself, Burnley don't really score that many goals. It's only a few players who have goals, and Ben Mee is basically their second highest scorer. So that's why Ben Mee is probably one of the players to have a look at. I would probably bring in a Burnley defense. If not one or two, I would probably at least try and have one for this double game week because clean sheets look very likely. Chances of scoring, maybe not as likely, but pretty good chance if Ben Mee can get his head. And he is their second highest scorer by the looks of it. So would try and get clean sheets. They have kept 7 clean sheets so far. And obviously, like I said, Pope's bonus point magnet. It's a possibility, depends. Now, the thing is, okay, what happens if Pope gets injured and is not available? Then your next option for goalkeeper would be a 4 million keeper. And I do not know which one of them would start, actually, to be honest. And let's think of it this way. It's a 4 million keeper. But will they start both games? What if Pope is fit for the second game? Then I probably won't get either keeper, to be honest. I'm not really sure. We'll have to see again. Have to see in Sean Dyche's press conference. If it's a 4 million keeper, you can bet I'm definitely getting a 4 million keeper. If Sean Dyche tells which keeper it is, that is. I'm not really sure in Burnley's whether it's Peacock or Norris. We'll see. But yeah, that at the moment, I'm looking at Pope and Benmi. Pope, we have to see what happens with regard to his injury situation. Also, would Burnley keep more clean sheets without Pope in the side? That's another thing to consider. End of the day, fantasy is a risk. You do take risk by bringing in certain players. Uh, it is what it is. So good luck with you guys on that. At the moment, I'll wait. I haven't made any transfers for those. I'm still going to wait until the press conferences. I might keep it as close to the deadline before making changes. So let's see how it goes. Moving on to the next one, Everton. Yeah, right here, I was thinking how to fit in Calvert-Lewin into my team. I was like wondering, all right, what am I going to do to fit this guy in? And then he goes and get injured. Duncan Ferguson said it's not looking good, so we will have to see how it goes for him. Again, that's another one. Wait on the press conference. I think all of these double gaming features now we had to wait on press conferences to see what's going to happen. Calvert-Lewin, if he's not fit, it's not a problem with me. I already have Digne, who is also an injury out now. Hopefully, he's fit at least. Like, I don't know. Everton's players are like all doubts right now. So their main creative assets, Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin out. Look at Digne, not even sure. Who do you bring in Everton if like these guys are all out? Do their goal scoring opportunities reduce significantly? And it's against a much improved Fulham defense and a City team that could now, with these guys out, potentially destroy Everton as well. So that increases the chances of City's defense because they can keep a clean sheet, and also City's attacking appeal as well. So Everton not looking great right now. I have to wait before today's FA Cup games. Look at Digne, Calvert-Lewin, Rodriguez all look like good shouts. Calvert-Lewin, I would have had definitely found a way to try and get him in. I'm happy that so far I haven't made the transfer yet. But there are people who have already taken a hit or maybe even bought in Calvert-Lewin this week. I'm sure there are. Let's see. There are 507,000 managers have bought in Calvert-Lewin this week. That's a large number. So he's in 44.7% of teams. Nearly half the game owns Calvert-Lewin. If Calvert-Lewin is out, and if you don't have Calvert-Lewin, you could have a very huge differential game week if your player does well. So let's hope. Let's see how it goes. Carlo Ancelotti's press conference, we have to see how it goes as well before we make a decision. Finally, on to the team that before this injury crisis for the other teams, we weren't really sure whether we should bring them in or not. I'm still not sure, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of players in the single game weeks perform much better than the Fulham team because they don't really score goals. They're struggling to score goals in the last few games. If you look, is they most likely to get, and they haven't scored. The last they scored was a West Brom draw 2-2, and before that they scored one against United and one against Spurs. So they've scored only 4 goals in the last 7 games. 4 goals in the last 7. They don't really score. And so, sorry if you guys see cuts. It's because I'm not feeling well. So that's why I have had to like cut it a few times. Lookman, will I get him 5 million? I think there are better midfield options out there. Especially for a double game week, I would more likely target defenses because of their ability to get clean sheets compared to midfielders. Usually defenders do well in double game weeks. So I don't know if I'll get any Fulham players, to be honest. It's just I'm just showing you guys who is a possibility, but I ideally won't get them because they're facing Everton. Everton, even with the injuries, could possibly score a goal, and then they're facing Burnley, who are defensively pretty great as well. And then those are the 4 teams for the double game week. Let's move on to the best of the rest. And the best of the rest includes Harry Kane, who is facing City. This week I won't get him, but game week 25 onwards, it looks really good. Looks really good, not gonna lie. Very very high possibility of getting Harry Kane. Uh, who else is there? Watkins also could be a possibility after for Game Week 26 onwards, to be honest. Game Week 24, if you have Watkins, captaincy armband, possibility, but the man on screen, Fernandes, this man could very well outscore the double Game Week players. He has that possibility to be able to haul higher than the double Game Week players as they play a West Brom side that's defensively a shambles. So that is a huge possibility, something to keep an eye out. If you're not sure of your double Game Week players, most likely they are the ones to captain. But if you don't want to and you want a differential captain, Bruno Fernandes is a possibility. I might very well stick the vice captain's armband on Bruno Fernandes. I would probably captain Gundogan still, and vice captain Bruno, because I think Bruno Fernandes, he could haul, and it could be a very differential if you do captain him. Would I captain him? Probably not. No, I'll still captain Gundogan if I had captain Gundogan, or if I had Sterling, I would captain Sterling. But Bruno Fernandes is an option and could haul. It's a possibility. It depends on what Man United turns up as well. They can score goals, but sometimes they try to play a bit more defensive. Recently, being a Man United fan as well, sometimes, okay, against West Brom, I expect them to score goals. I'll be honest. Newcastle, I expect them to score goals. So I expect Bruno Fernandes to haul, at least get a goal in this game. Who else is there an option? Bamford. Bamford is playing Arsenal. Arsenal. You don't know with what Arsenal appears, to be honest. Sometimes they could get smacked. Sometimes they could actually win. Bamford has been doing well recently. I would look into him as well as an option. But yeah, the best of the rest, Bruno Fernandes to captain. Bamford is a possibility. Game week 25, he double game week. He is definitely a captain option. And who is the other guy? Harry Kane, not this week, but next week onwards, Harry Kane looking really great. So keep an eye out on those guys. It's very hard to give an opinion right now on who I would go, because the injuries have thrown a doubt into players and who we would probably pick. So let me know who you guys are looking at. If you guys were having players that you were looking at and they have now been hit by injuries, what are you going to do? Let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to see what you guys also think. I'm probably going to wait till Friday's press conferences to see what happens and then make a decision. So until then, I will see you guys for a video next week for FPL. And I hope you guys enjoy this and see you guys. Oh yeah, if you're new, do hit the subscribe button. I am on my way to 1,000 subscribers. I've just passed 750, so thank you all for everyone who subscribed. Hopefully we can get to 1,000 soon. Hit the like button, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys later.